If you thought Mexico was poor, you haven't seen this city. This is Merida, a place where colonial elegance meets cultural pride, where the streets are paved with stories and the mansions whisper of another time. But we're not stopping there. We're heading to the coast, to an authentic Mexican beach town untouched by the flash of Cancun or the crowds of Playa del Carmen. Then, it's time to hit the road, deep into the Yucatan to explore some of the most spectacular Mayan ruins in the world, Uxmal and Kabah. Ancient cities still echoing with mystery and grandeur. After the dust and heat, we'll cool off in a hidden cenote, a sacred pool carved by time still unknown to most travelers. And when the sun dips low, we'll return to Merida to experience its electric nightlife pulsing with music, mezcal, and memory. Join me as we explore one of Mexico's most fascinating, unexpected cities. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Project Gaia. JP here, and today we are in Merida, Mexico. Now, this is a new hotspot in Mexican travel. So what it is known for is having some of the most fantastic architecture in Mexico. It really has that colonial feel. I mean, it has these grand and beautiful colonial architecture all around. They're super colorful, and it's a very busy, bustling city. It is one of the largest cities in Mexico as well. So there's tons of nightlife and a lot of restaurants. Another thing that we're going to do is we're going to Uxmal, which is one of the best preserved Mayan cities in the Yucatan. So we're going to explore that and a couple of the other ruins around there. Also, we're going to hit up the beach. So don't think just because you're in a city that you cannot access the beach. Very close to here, there is a city where there's a beautiful beach. So we're gonna explore all of these, and I'm going to show you the best things to do and see while you're in and around Merida, Mexico. So let's begin. Walking through Merida is like flipping through pages of a living history book. The colonial streets stretch out in soft pastels, shaded by palms and punctuated with echoes of Spanish rule and Maya roots. At the heart of it all, the central square hums gently, a place where locals rest, lovers meet, and the city quietly remembers who it is. Now, right across from the plaza, you have Merida's main cathedral. This is called the Catedral de San Ildefonso. That was built in 1598, making it one of the oldest cathedrals in the Americas. And both the exterior and the interior are absolutely beautiful and excellent examples of Spanish colonial architecture. So, let's head in. Rising over Merida's main square, the Catedral de San Ildefonso was completed in 1598, making it the oldest cathedral on the American mainland. Its walls were built from dismantled Maya pyramids, a stark symbol of Spanish conquest. Yet inside, beneath its massive stone arches, the silence tells a deeper story, one of faith, resistance, and the uneasy merging of two civilizations. Just steps from the cathedral stands El Palacio de Gobierno, the governmental palace of the Yucatan. Built in 1892 atop the remains of colonial military barracks, it has served as the seat of regional power through revolutions, reform, and centuries of change. Its green facade and arched corridors feel elegant, almost serene, but behind its walls lies a much louder story. Inside the palace walls explode with color and truth. Massive murals by the legendary Yucatanian artist Fernando Castro Pacheco stretch across the interior, telling the brutal and beautiful history of the Maya people, not with words, but with fire, pain, pride, and defiance. These aren't just paintings, they're memory made permanent, bold, defiant reminders that history here is anything but silent. Now, Now, if you want to get a taste of what it was like to live in one of these mansions in Merida in the 16th century, you can go to Casa Montejo, which is behind me. Now, just to note, all of the last couple sites, so the cathedral, the Palacio, the park, and Casa Montejo, are all surrounding the plaza, right? So you don't have to go far to get to them. You can visit all of these sites in pretty much like an hour, depending on how long you take. So Merida is very compact. Now there's another part of it to the north of the center. We're gonna go to that as well, but these main sites are all really close. Built in the 1540s by the Spanish conquistador Francisco de Montejo, this was the first grand home in Merida. This isn't just a house, it's conquest, frozen in stone and time. So one of the best things to do when you're here in Merida is simply walk around. So the city is developing, right? So don't think this is, you know, Paris or somewhere, you know, super chic. It's growing and it's happening, but it's kind of limited to a couple corridors. One of them being Calle 60, which is a north-south corridor. So, you know, if you go off the strip a little bit, it's you know, more second and third world, and it might freak you out. It's not dangerous. I mean, I've never felt any danger in any way. I'm just saying, you know, the beautiful parts of it are very limited to a couple corridors. Now, since it is growing, it makes it an amazingly cheap and underrated city. So there's so much beautiful architecture. You just gotta know where to find it, right? So go through it, and then within some of these places, some of them are completely abandoned, but within some of these places, there are beautiful stores and cafes and restaurants, and it truly is amazing. I mean, everywhere you look, there's old churches and nice plazas and just an amazing street life experience. So definitely walk around and explore the city. As you continue walking northbound, you have to walk down the Paseo Montejo, which basically is a street, it's a corridor, and along it are some of the most beautiful, colorful, palatial mansions in Merida. I mean, some of these are, your jaw is gonna drop how amazingly beautiful they are. So it's a really nice stroll. You just walk down it. It's about, I'd say, maybe a mile, a little less than a mile, and it just affords you amazing views. I mean, look at this one right behind me, right here. It really is a testament to Merida's old colonial past and the city's dedication to architecture and the preservation of these amazingly old palatial buildings. Now, the next place you have to go when you're visiting the Merida area is Progreso. So if you want to get out of the city, you know, it can get very hot during the day. All those buildings, though beautiful, produce a lot of heat, right? With all the cars and all the smog and all that stuff. So about a 20 to 40 minute ride away, you arrive here at Progreso, and this is the northern side of the Yucatan, and it overlooks the Caribbean Sea, kind of where it switches from the Gulf of Mexico to the Caribbean, so it's really cool. Another claim to fame that Progreso has, and you kind of see it around too, is this is the site where the meteorite that made the dinosaurs go extinct hit, right? So it's right around here, and you'll see some dinosaur stuff around here too. But it's a fantastic beach spot. It's a little town, it's not very big, but it's beautiful. And there's a boardwalk that goes along it, and there's tons of restaurants, tons of stores, and it's a great place to kind of cool off during the day. So I recommend you come here in the afternoon, either after your tour of Merida or between. Just north of Merida, where the dense Yucatan heat gives way to sea breeze, you'll find Progreso, a coastal town that feels worlds away from Mexico's tourist trail. It's quiet here. No luxury towers, no overpriced cocktails, just weathered beach houses, slow afternoons, and the sound of waves brushing against the sand. Progreso isn't trying to impress you or be anything, and that's exactly what makes it special. It's a place where locals unwind, where time moves differently, and where the sea still feels like part of daily life. So when you're in Progreso, I recommend this restaurant. This is called Mayan, and it's right on the beach, right off the boardwalk, and the inside is just so cool. I mean, it has this super beachy Mexican Mayan vibe. The food is fantastic, the drinks are good, and the food's pretty cheap. They even have a pool if you want to hop in, so it has that real cool beach but Mexican vibe. So I definitely recommend checking this out when you're here in Progreso. There are tons of other restaurants, but this one was very unique. Tucked between the palms just outside Progreso is Mayan, a restaurant that feels more like a jungle retreat. You eat under a palapa roof surrounded by native plants and Maya-inspired decor. The food is fresh, local, and rooted in tradition. The kind of place where every detail feels intentional, every bite connected to the land. After lunch, we made our way down to the beach, the kind of beach where sandals come off and time stretches out. The sand is soft, the water warm, and there's room to breathe. No crowds, just waves and sun and silence. Stretching along the shoreline, Progreso's boardwalk is the town's quiet heartbeat. Lined with seafood stalls, street art, and the occasional hammock swaying in the breeze. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it's real. And out here, that's what matters. Okay, we have now arrived in Uxmal. Now, Uxmal is a fascinating archaeological site here in the Yucatan, and it was a functioning and flourishing Mayan city between about 600 and 900 AD. Now, its most famous structure is this grand pyramid here, but there are beautiful structures all throughout the grounds. Now, it was mysteriously abandoned by the 10th century and has a pretty mysterious story. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to tell you about the history of Uxmal. We're gonna explore some of its grounds and its buildings and learn why this is such an interesting place to visit here in the Yucatan. Just beyond the dense trees and rolling hills of the Puc region, the ancient city of Uxmal rises from the earth, a forgotten masterpiece in stone. We begin not with the towering pyramid, but with something quieter, the nunnery quadrangle. Its 4 intricate buildings wrap around a ceremonial courtyard, their facades carved with gods, serpents, and sacred geometry. The detail is staggering, like each stone was laid with intention, purpose, and ritual. As I walk through Uxmal, it feels different than other ruins. There's an energy here, something still lingering. This city wasn't built in a hurry, it was designed. Uxmal flourished around 900 AD, a peak of Maya civilization when art, astronomy, and architecture blended into something greater. No mortar holds these stones together, just perfect balance. And unlike many Maya sites, Uxmal was never conquered by the Spanish. It was abandoned before they arrived. Why? No one really knows. That mystery hangs heavy here, like the jungle never quite finished taking it back. Off to the side, you'll find the ancient ball court, the arena of the Maya ball game. Part sport, part ceremony, part life and death ritual, the players use their hips to keep the ball in motion, trying to score through the stone ring high on the wall. It was more than a game. It was cosmic and symbolic, and in some versions, the winner met the gods through sacrifice. And then you see it, the Pyramid of the Magician. It doesn't rise, it emerges. Its curved sides make it look like it was grown, not built. As I walk up the ancient steps, the stones feel uneven, worn, sacred. According to legend, it was constructed in a single night by a dwarf magician born of an egg, hence its name. But the reality may be even stranger. The pyramid was built in 5 distinct phases, one on top of the other, over centuries. From the top, the view swallows you, the jungle in every direction, and the temple ruins below, basking in a golden light. It's amazing here, when you're wandering inside the pyramid. Standing here, it's not hard to believe the Maya weren't just builders, they were visionaries. So when you're visiting Uxmal and on the Puc route in general, I recommend you stop and look into some of these villages. So if you want to see an authentic, non-touristy at all Mexican village, go through here. This one that I'm in right now is called Santa Elena, and the people are super nice, and it just really is an authentic place to see, real life, not just, the tourism industry that's so popular in Mexico. You need a car to do this. This isn't something you go do on a tour, but I encourage you to step out and just experience it and just see what it's like being in one of these really interesting Mexican villages. Okay, the next site that you have to visit along the Puc route is Kabah. And what's so great about Kabah? Well, it's extremely intimate. There's barely anyone here. So you kind of feel really Indiana Jonesy. It's like you have the whole temple to yourself, right? And what it's known for is having a beautiful palace and something called the Cod's Pop, which is a building that is adorned with these fantastically beautiful masks, and they're super ornate. And what else is really cool about it is you can actually climb the ruins. So a lot of people want to climb the ruins. You used to be able to in the more popular sites like Uxmal and Chichen Itza. However, here you can. So it's definitely something interesting to see. Now, along the Puc route, there are dozens of Mayan sites and ruins. For the sake of time, we can't go to all of them, but if you're very interested in this, I definitely would, spend a little extra time and, go along and visit all of them. And each one, the less popular it is, the more intimate it is. Kabah is one of those places that makes you lower your voice. Not because you have to, but because it feels right. Just off the Puc route, surrounded by low hills and quiet brush, Kabah once stood as a sister city to Uxmal. It was connected by a wide stone road, stretching straight through the jungle. Today, that ancient road remains, but the people are gone, and what's left behind is still. Walking through Kabah, you feel like you've arrived somewhere that wasn't meant to be rediscovered. The structures are lower, more weathered, but they breathe a kind of intimacy. Arched gateways, crumbling staircases, fragments of rooms still holding on to stories. No barriers, no signs, no noise, just stone and sky. Founded likely around 600 AD, Kabah flourished in the Terminal Classic period, a time of brilliance and collapse across the Maya world. There's no single temple that dominates here. Instead, the site unfolds slowly. Courtyards tucked into the trees, temples worn by time, and endless patterns carved into rock, their meanings half forgotten. There's something unspoken here. Unlike the grandeur of other ruins, Kabah doesn't demand your attention, it invites you in, gently, to walk where others once walked, and to notice the little things. A glyph here, a doorway there, a staircase leading nowhere. It's not about spectacle, it's about presence, and that's what makes Kabah powerful. In its quiet, in its unfinished edges, it holds onto something deeper. So after going through the ruins of Uxmal and Kabah, you're gonna be super hot. I mean, it's in the center of the jungle with very little wind and a blaring sun. I'm here in February, so I couldn't even imagine in June, July, or August, but you're gonna wanna cool down. So I recommend coming to Cenote Axpatun, which is about 30 to 40 minutes away, but it's on the way back up towards Merida if you're staying in Merida. Now, what's so cool about this is it's one of the most beautiful cenotes in the Yucatan, and the Yucatan is filled with them, right? And what else is cool about it is it has a very, very private, intimate vibe. I mean, I came in on like a bunch of wine winding. Dirt roads went through these little towns. It was crazy. But what's cool about it is it doesn't feel like a theme park like a lot of the other cenotes do. Most of the cenotes are very rigid and have a lot of laws and stuff. This kind of feels like you just rented someone's property. So it's very cool to see and very private. So let's head in. Now, being one of the largest cities in Mexico, Merida is a great place for nightlife and dining. So we're here at night now on a Saturday night, so it's very bumping. Tons of restaurants, tons of bars, people hanging out, people just enjoying the beautiful weather, the scenery, the street life. It truly is beautiful. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go to a restaurant that I was recommended. It's known for having some of the finest Yucatan food in Merida. And what I love about Merida is it really blends both the Spanish and the Mayan culture together to create one amazingly beautiful city. When the sun sets in Merida, the city doesn't sleep, it exhales. The heat fades, the air softens, and the streets come alive with music and motion. Colonial facades glow under warm lights. Couples stroll the plazas, and laughter spills out from cantinas and cafes. There's a rhythm here, not rushed, not forced, just alive. Whether it's live trova echoing from a bar, or the slow clink of mezcal glasses, Merida at night feels like a celebration of culture, of community, of being exactly where you are. So when I was in Valladolid a couple days ago, check out that video if you haven't already, I was recommended this restaurant when I told this woman, this local that was super nice, that I was going to Merida, and she recommended this restaurant. It's called La Chaya Maya, and what it specializes in is specifically Yucateca style dishes, right? So what does that mean? That is a mix of Spanish, Mayan, and traditional Mexican food. So it's very unique and very different, and I'm very excited to see what they have, and I'm gonna try a specifically Yucateca dish. The beauty of Merida at night isn't just in the architecture, it's in the feeling. Bars glow like lanterns. Open doors invite you in with the sound of guitars and laughter. Strangers become friends over cold drinks and warm songs. It's not just nightlife, it's life, lit softly. And if you ever find yourself here, stay out late. You'll understand. I had a great time showing you guys Merida. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video, share this video, and leave me your comment below. I get back to all my comments sooner or later. Till next time, guys, take care. Bye.